Not sure if I'm already on. There seems to be like a little bit of a delay, I've noticed. Okay, let me check the... Yes, I'm on. Okay. Audio's good. Hi, everyone. My name is Tan, and this is Artemis Oracle. And I'm doing your reading today. So this reading is meant for anyone who happens to come across it, who may find a message in there. There may be messages that you may resonate with and some that you don't. So don't try to force something that doesn't fit. These energies can also resonate with what may be going on around you. May not be affecting you personally, but may be going on around you. So today is the Lunar New Year. So happy Lunar New Year. So we're finally in the year of the fire horse. I did a reading maybe a couple weeks ago talking about what the year of the fire horse entails. And today is also the new moon in Aquarius. So I don't know how, I haven't really looked too much into the new moon in Aquarius and what it means, what we can expect, what would be asked of us, especially since we are entering into new moon phase, which is a phase where we start to set intentions and manifest. Especially if we've already released certain things from the last full moon phase that we had. So I'm gonna look up really quickly what they say about the Aquarius full moon, new moon. Okay. And then there's also a solar eclipse. So let's see what comes out, what they say. Okay, so I went to a cafe astrology, which is one of the places I like to go to do birth charts, look at my birth chart, or look at the birth chart of other people who give me their information and are genuinely curious. But it says that the new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius is the first in the Leo Aquarius set. Its effect can be felt for up to 6 months after the actual date of the eclipse. In the sign of Aquarius, the eclipse is about friendship, fellowship, group activities, social pursuits, group projects, trying something new, humanitarian efforts, or joining a group. This new moon eclipse might challenge these matters and present opportunities for new beginnings. Long-term changes are in the works. So let me see if there's anything else. This cycle encourages us to reach out to people in our social circle and in our community and recognize the value of our friendships and social networks. We might also recognize that some level of detachment and distancing ourselves from habits and attachment to the past will help us break away from destructive behaviors that are holding us back. With this potent Aquarius energy, we have the chance to make progressive changes in our lives. For some of us, circumstances are such that we need to pay more attention to these matters. Aquarius teaches us that it can be all too easy to slip into feelings of being alone in the world. It's me against the world. And to forget that there is support to be found, if only we reach out and find it. Similarly, there are solutions to our problems, if only we develop faith that answers are available to us, and we reach out to find those solutions. It is a time to consider, appreciate, and value our place in the community and in our social circle, and to give something back. It's a powerful time to reevaluate our happiness, goals, and alliances. So that's what they say. I mean, there's so much more that I could read, but for some reason, I want to stop reading. So yeah, we're currently in the year of the fire horse. Hello, how are you? So I want to see what cards come out with, we already have a couple that flipped over, so let me put these back. So going into the Divine Animals Oracle deck. Oh, thank you for saying that. I appreciate the compliment. So let's see what comes out with the Divine Animals Oracle deck. So Ooh, we have sacrifice, the bull. That's Taurus energy. It's also fixed sign like Aquarius. Anything else I need to know? The number 40 may be significant. Number 440. Oh, we got honeybee, which is reciprocity. And number 6. And orca, songlines, which is number 30. And the bottom we have 32, rhinoceros, moderation. So I'm going to show you the cards. Sacrifice is bull. Hi Lillian, how are you doing? Honeybee for reciprocity. And orca for songlines. So I'm going to read the message, the main message for each of these cards. I hope you're doing well, Lillian. Okay, I just want to read the magic message. Ah! Hi, Tony, how are you? Oh, I'm glad you're okay. I like to see that you're on the chat. I was thinking about you and your hair in my tea. Okay. All right. So the magic. Most of societies no longer sacrifice bulls like our ancestors did. But the concept of sacrifice remains. Bull energy can help you make the sacrifices you may need to make in order to support your work or something you desire. Bull magic can also be used to move yourself out of the sacrificial or martyrdom position you may have fallen into. Many of us continually sacrifice our own needs over and over and become unhealthily selfless as a result. This only breeds resentment and extreme neediness, which is very damaging to our own growth. So there are things that we need to sacrifice, not like our ancestors. They used to sacrifice animals for certain, rituals or for necessity. But it's important that we place our energies in things that are supportive, that help us reach our certain goals, but not put ourselves in a position where we are sacrificing ourselves, sacrificing our health, sacrificing our energy, and essentially sacrificing the growth that we may experience. So reciprocity. This reminds me of some people who overgive. They overgive. And I'm one of those people. I'll admit to that. And, sometimes we get to this point where we start to become bitter or resentful because what we're giving to other people, no one is returning to us. It isn't being reciprocated. And that's what this card is, the honeybee card. It talks about reciprocity, which is about equal give and take. Also, this card reminds me, the sacrifice card reminds me of the hangman energy too. So 6 is the honeybee. Honeybee. The magic. How I love bee magic. As a beekeeper, I am privileged to experience the magic of bees every day. This is the author. From the way they literally turn sunshine into honey, the way they dance and communicate, and the way they bring life to her garden. Call upon bee magic when you want to improve communication and connection. It is wonderful energy to use when you are attempting to find balance and a proper level of give and take in a relationship or work situation. Bee magic can also be used to stimulate your garden and your creativity. Here's something else I wanted to see. There's another message I want to read from the book. We must give and take, and if we make a mistake, we must make amends. The earth revolves around reciprocity to remain balanced and to grow. And as humans are part of the earth, so this applies to them as well. Learn to work happily with others. It is important to learn to communicate effectively, as there may be a breakdown in communication. So some people may resonate with this, there being a breakdown in communication and the importance of reciprocity, equal give and take, fairness, justice, balance. That's reminding me of the 6 of Pentacles, when the person is giving to the beggars. It's better to invest in something that will in turn invest in you, but sometimes you can't always think about what you get in return. So whenever you give, don't give with the expectation of getting something in return, but don't give to the point where you're sacrificing yourself. You're sacrificing your needs, your desires, and your wishes. And then the next card we have is Orca, Songlines. That's number 30. I know that's your age, Lillian. If you don't mind me saying. 30. You're walking in the bloodlines of your ancestors. But you are an individual who makes your own destiny. Seek better communication with family, nourish yourself, and exercise extreme self-care. Share your skills with others. And there's also the other message. Thank you, Lillian. Orca magic can be raised by singing your own song by the sea. It is a feminine magic that can be used to help heal breaches in family relationships. Orca magic is also one that asks for self-care and nourishment, Lillian. Remember I told you about self-care is important for you to take care of yourself? If you're feeling weak in your physical body or mind, especially with issues of vitality or endurance, the power of the orca can be called upon as an ally. Seek better communication with family, nourish yourself, and exercise extreme self-care. So I love how these messages align with each other, because if you know how to you're willingly and able to give to others, it's important for you not to overdo it to your own detriment, to your own, where you're sacrificing your health, you're sacrificing your overall well-being. I like that. So let me see what else. These are like funny cards. Maybe I'll use that in the end. So that's what those cards. I think I might go into tarot right now. So I'm gonna clarify each card. Make sure I didn't leave any cards. I'm gonna leave the book out because there's some cards in here that are not different. They are different from they say Mercury's in retrograde and we're in the shadow period, I believe. So I noticed in my speech. Okay, or maybe somebody doesn't want me to talk. Okay, I want to clarify the sacrifice card. What is what is the sacrifice about? The bull. So that reminds me of Taurus energy, being stubborn, being the fixed sign as myself, as a Scorpio, Aquarius, Leo, and I forgot the other one, Taurus. Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius are fixed signs. So we're known to be stubborn. So some of you may have that in your chart. Wow, and it's funny that I said Scorpio being a fixed sign, because we have the Scorpio card with the Knight of Pentacles. So this is about death and Nine of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like there's certain things that need to be, a certain cycle that needs to close out, certain things that need to end in order for someone to feel completely grounded, stable, and secure, fully independent. With the Knight of Pentacles energy, which is a feminine energy. So some of you may have Scorpio in your chart. You may resonate with being a feminine, a divine feminine. This is about like the Nine of Pentacles is someone who takes care of themselves. They know how to give, and they know when to stop giving. They know when to put themselves first and not sacrifice them, not put themselves in a deficit, because the Knight of Pentacles energy is someone who is abundant. They're abundant with energy, with resources, very grounded, secure, stable within themselves and their environment, or even in whatever circumstance they find themselves in. And that's the energy that we all need to embody, regardless of what's going on around us. So with this, it's like some of you may be sacrificing yourself in some way, but you're being asked to stop that, to end that, and start to focus on yourself. Basically, like, since death is also rebirth, it's like start babying yourself, start taking care of yourself, start nurturing yourself the way you would a child. But not where you're a baby. But what I mean is like you're taking care of yourself. You're showing yourself the type of love that you probably have been giving to other people. You know? And I say that because of the reciprocity card that came next, and sacrifice of reciprocity. You know, there may have been some inequality in something. You know? We have the Two of Swords. So some of you may not even be aware that you're doing this. You may be blocked to that, and hopefully this reading is a clarification for you, or a reminder that you shouldn't trap yourself in your mind regarding matters that are out of your hands. And be honest with yourself. Be honest with the way you're feeling, the way you're thinking, and how you're allowing things to interfere with how you're caring for yourself, how you're nurturing yourself, putting yourself first, because sometimes we could get distracted by external things, but maybe this is a time to put up that blindfold, but go within as well. This may be a time to go within and look at where you're lacking when it comes to taking care of yourself. Where have you been sacrificing? Where have you possibly been telling yourself lies to justify martyring yourself? Because in a way, she kind of looks like a victim. And sometimes we could be the victim of our own minds, or even the lies that we tell ourselves, Okay, so let's find out what this reciprocity honeybee energy. What is this reciprocity? It's the nurture of swords. So it's being wise and discerning about how you give, and even being aware of how others give back to you. Are they being fair? Are they being just? Because the Queen of Swords is about fairness and justice. She cuts out what doesn't serve her, and she cuts out people who don't serve her, and it's not about someone like being completely devoted and giving only to her, but it's about fairness and balance, It's no longer, and also this is funny because I mentioned the Hangman card and it came out, and I mentioned this with, hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. So you see here the Hangman, and I mentioned that was sacrifice. The Hangman is about sacrifice, putting yourself out going out on a limb in a way. Maybe you've overgiven to the point where it may have turned your world upside down. I want to say that, like, turn your world upside down. It puts you off kilter. And it's like saying this, being aware of this is what's going to bring you upright, what's going to enlighten you, bring you the guidance, the information, the wisdom, and understanding of what you've experienced and why it's no longer working. Especially if you've been trapped in your own mind about a certain situation or about certain circumstances. It could be about love, work, family. It could be anything. We got the Sun card, yeah. It's like thinking about what can you do to make sure that you are happy, or in what ways you have sacrificed your own happiness because you've been giving to other situations, giving and probably doing more than your fair share. It could, like I said, sometimes we overdo it at work, Is anyone who resonates? So if the message doesn't resonate with you, then it's not for you. So it's looking at in what ways you have sacrificed your happiness. Even looking at the things that do impact your happiness, impact your outlook on things. It's about being illuminated to something, and something that you cannot deny, Because sometimes, we can justify, or even the way you've justified overgiving and justify other people's behaviors, or justify sacrificing yourself in some way. Some of, like, sacrificial lamb is coming to mind. And well, it makes sense because Ramadan is coming. And I know they sacrifice lamb, I think on the last day when when Ramadan ends. Some of you, this could be a situation where it's a friend group, but I think it's more so, it could be about work, career. It could be like working in a team dynamic. Maybe you feel like you're doing more than your fair share, and you're looking for ways to bring balance, to bring justice for yourself. Especially if you feel like you're not being if you're not getting the recognition that you deserve, or even the compensation you deserve for the amount of work that you're doing. Okay, so let's go into the Orca card, song lines. What is song lines? Orca. Oh, the Tower card came out. And I mentioned this in my live yesterday, and it's been coming up a lot, is the Tower card. The first card we have is the Nurture of Coins, which is basically the Queen of Coins, the Queen of Pentacles. This is about being grounded and nurtured. This is like Nine of Pentacles energy right here. The Nine of Coins, you know, is reaching the higher level of status. I know they show a masculine figure, but this book, this deck is supposed to be diverse. Hi, Christopher, how are you doing? But it seems like, let me go back to the Orca card, because this is about self-care, it's about nurturing yourself. And we put the message all together, it's about, I just want to see with the Orca. Singing your own song. It's feminine magic that can be used to help heal breaches in family relationships, self-care and nourishment. Yeah, self-care and nourishment. I think some of you might get a rude awakening if you don't start changing how you are interacting with other people, how you're giving in situations, especially where there seems to be, you may be martyring yourself, you may be overgiving, and there isn't equal give and take. Some of you may get a rude awakening with the Tower, reminding you that it's time for you to take care of yourself, time to take a rest, because you see her in the Orca card, the girl, she looks like she's taking a nap. So some of you may be, hopefully, you know, if you're not, like if you're aware and you're starting to take certain actions to start taking care of yourself, improving your health, then you may be able to circumvent this, but there may be something that may come up that may force you to change. Unless you become enlightened, you already see these, you already see the inequality, and you're already starting to take certain actions to bring fairness. And that could be what the Tower, the unexpected thing is. You know, there may have been some sort of deception with the Seven of Swords, but it's also about self-deception. It could be the lies that you told yourself to justify the sacrificing yourself in some way, you know. But I feel like it's also, like we would talk about maybe some of you may be like doing more at work, that it seems like you have a lot of responsibilities with the Ten of Wands, maybe even overburdened with responsibilities. And it may be time for you to tell your truth. Maybe it reached a certain point where now you're ready to pull out the Ace of Swords, which she has hidden in her cloak. And it's time to, like, it may be shocking. Maybe some of you may be speaking up for yourself, letting people know how you're not. When you're giving to somebody and they're not, you feel like you're not getting anything back in return. Like you feel like you're giving too much, but it's like someone's taking. Like you give, and they don't really give anything in return. And it's not the expectation of them giving in return, because mostly when people receive, they want to give, you know? It's that automatic thing within us, if you have a conscience, I would say, where you want to give back in return. It's not a obligation or anything. You don't do so out of obligation. It's because it's the right thing to do. So if you ever feel like you're over giving to somebody and they're not giving to you, I'm going to use dating as an example. Like say you're constantly initiating contact with somebody, but they never initiate contact with you. You know, you always make the effort. This is just an example. You make an effort to reach out to someone and they never do that for you. That's like an example of overgiving, you know, or you're constantly, you know, doing favors for somebody. They're always asking for you to do something for them. But then when you ask, they're not really there for you. It's a burden for them. You know, that could be something. That could be shocking. Like when some of you may not even know that you're overgiving, because now we have somebody asking. If you don't know, and then when you finally need help or you need support, and that one time you do reach out to somebody and they don't give it to you, that's when this tower moment can hit. This is when you can realize, wow, I've been there for you. I've supported you. I listened to you. I gave you money when you needed it. I gave you rides when you needed it. I took you to your appointments, whatever it is. But the one time I asked for your help, you're not there for me. That's an example. That's how you will know you're overgiving. Because when you feel like you're giving so much to somebody and you're not getting anything in return, and not out of obligation, but just out of courtesy, or human decency, that's how you know. This could be a toxic trait of some people, and they may not even know it. It's like that people pleasing. That's not a good thing. If you've ever been a people pleaser, you will understand, because you always put your needs aside and you're always thinking about the greater good. But essentially, you're sacrificing yourself. You're becoming the sacrifice. But it starts to weigh on you, I speak from experience, and I'm a lot of people who are givers, who naturally give, they understand that. Because some people like to take advantage of that. And that could be what the devil is, a devil energy, someone who may be like a taker. They take, but they don't give. Not even a little bit. It may even be breadcrumbing too. That's another way to put it too. It may be breadcrumbing. But that could be a situation that some of you may be dealing with, like you get in that sudden realization that you needed help with something. Like say you're not doing well and you needed like some support, and somebody wasn't able to give to you, and it's like, wow, when I was there for you, when you were burdened, I supported you. I helped you with your burdens, but you're not there to help me with mine. So that's what I'm getting with the nurture of coins, the tower, the 7 of swords. So it's like that, the understanding. 6 of swords, even though this is the 7 of swords, the 6 of swords is moving towards peace, away from conflict, right? But then when you have the ace of swords, I would call it the ace of swords, because you see, these swords are separate from this one. So this one is it's like a truth. So maybe it's a hidden truth that you weren't even aware of, and now it's becoming illuminated by the sun. Not knowing what you were experiencing until you were in a time of need, And you see her, she has a child, and then she has these other things. So it's like she has a burden, but then it's like having that sudden clarity of truth, understanding, and it could be shocking, So I feel like the overall message of this is just to make sure that you're not doing anything to harm yourself, to bring any imbalance in your life by overgiving, making sure that when you do give, you're at a place where you can give and you don't end up at a deficit. I'm surprised I didn't see if the 5 of Pentacles come out, because the 5 of Pentacles is about lack mindset. It's about being at a deficit. But yeah, and it's funny. Okay. Because underneath the devil card was the 9 of Wands, and this is someone who's burdened, This is someone who is the wounded warrior who's gone through so many battles and is about to face another battle. But there's someone who perseveres, who doesn't give up. But then underneath that was the 5 of Swords, and this has to do with conflict. This is about moving away from conflict, which is before the 6 of Swords, but it's also like winning at all costs in some way. Maybe pulling out that sword and using it to end or squash a conflict. And that could be the Ace of Swords that's also showing up in the 7 of Swords that's hidden in her cloak. Let's see. So the message is to put yourself first, to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, also taking care of your mental health, your physical health, your overall health, nourishing yourself, making sure you're eating healthy, doing the things that you enjoy. Being honest with yourself is the most important thing too. And ending anything where you feel like there seems to be an imbalance. And it doesn't necessarily have to be with another person, but it could be with within your job. It could be within your family, or it could just just taking care of yourself, because sometimes we allow our responsibilities to take precedence over taking care of ourselves, you know, especially if you have a lot of responsibilities, like with work and then your home, taking care of your home. If you're a single person, it's like everything falls on your shoulders. So this may be calling for you to take time to care for yourself, nurture yourself, do the things that make you feel good about yourself, and consider in what areas that you're giving into things that may not even be your own responsibilities. I didn't even understand what you wrote. Yeah, of course it's natural to give and take. That's natural. That's the thing about being human. That's how we are there for each other, how we support each other. I don't understand what you said, your last comment. I know I could get a little long-winded with my examples. I feel like I'm giving a monologue or something. Okay. So that's like a serious reading right there. Serious, serious, serious. How old are you? Okay, we're gonna go into the next deck. You know, actually, revealing the truth. I gotta use my deck, my Revealing the Truth deck. This thing is so well loved. Look at that. That used to be white. Okay, let's see what comes out for the collective. I wonder if anything else will come out. I mean, I already put the cards away. Let me check something over here. Let me see. Well, I'm doing a general reading, so let's see what comes up for the collective. What does the collective need to know at this time? What's the name of this, guys? What messages does the collective need to know at this time? Oh, these are negative cards. It's funny because in the reading that I just finished, it talked about the song lines, speaking your truth, singing your song, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, nourishing yourself. Because some of you, I don't know if there's something chaotic going on around you. I mean, there's stuff going on chaotic around the U.S., so. But it's like there's certain information that's going to be coming out. I feel like there's still going to be stuff coming out. Like, we know what I'm talking about. There's just going to be continued. We're going to see more and more and more stuff coming out. More information, and even more stuff coming out about finances, about money. It's like someone's going to come out and talk about things that are going on. Like in the grand scheme of things, like whatever's going on in the US or even other places. It's like somebody is going to be leaking more information. Because I had the madness card unspeakable. We're going to be hearing about like more shit, more crap. More crap. And it may have to do with certain files, you know. But I feel like there's more stuff that's going to be coming out about that. I feel like they just scratched the surface when it comes to that stuff. But we're probably going to be probably learning more about the financial aspect of what's been going on with those files, like learning about how people have been spending with those activities. I can't even say it. No, yeah, but it's like more stuff is going to continue to be leaked. There's probably going to be some sort of expose, a report coming out, an article that's going to go deeper into what has been going on with corruption. This is about corruption. There could be something coming out about, I want to say money laundering. It's like there's going to be like financial records that are going to be released. Bank statements, activities, portfolios, stock portfolios, stuff like that. That's going to be leaked. That may cause even more chaos. Besides, in addition to what's already been going on. I don't know, I'm getting like that. I don't know if you've heard of that movie Deep Throat, something like that. No. This doesn't seem good though. Because the money card came out in reverse. It came out in reverse. But it says finances, money, problem, work, success, fortune. But that came out in reverse. There might be, hopefully, like be very careful with your bank statements. Like watch your accounts. Make sure that everything is in order. Download your statements if you need to. Because there may be even something going on. We are in a Mercury retrograde, as they say. And shit happens. I would say be careful. Like, be careful of your finances. I would say definitely check your accounts. If you have to, reset your passwords. Do two-step verification just to protect your stuff. Because I don't know if there's going to be some sort of hacking happening. I would say just be careful. Okay, now, so this is separate. So now we have like, this is a relationship. Some of you may be finding out, learning about why your relationship ended, or even why your relationship ended. And it might be because, and I hate this. Oh God, and the card in the bottom too. Oh gosh. Like this, some of you already know this. You already suspect this. Please take the messages as they resonate. They may not resonate with everybody. So please take the messages as they resonate. So some of you maybe have gone through a breakup And some of you may be finding out the reason why your relationship ended, and it might be because somebody may have been disloyal. Somebody may have gotten an opportunity to step out of the relationship because they were curious about something. And the pet card came out. Curiosity, pet, breakup. So I feel like sometimes people do that. They end the relationship in order to start a new relationship because they were curious about somebody else. And the funny thing, this is a cat. So, you know, there's another word for cat, P-U-S-S-Y, you know, so somebody was curious about P-U-S-S-Y. But like, before I continue shuffling, at the bottom of the deck is pollution. Affection, oh my gosh. Somebody may be very careful, because if someone is coming back around after and I say that because of immortality, you know, and you know, this is like a Scorpio card. You know, it's like something that ends, because you know, vampires, they don't die. They always come back to life. They don't come back to life. They don't die. Somebody may be coming back around and they may have caught something. I don't like saying stuff like this. I don't. So please take it as it resonates. This will not resonate with everybody. I'm not reading for anyone specifically. This is a general message. So if the message resonates with you, then it's your message. If it doesn't, then it's not your message. Okay? Yeah, just be very careful if somebody comes back around, because they may have caught something and you don't want to catch it. Because immortality, though. Parasitic energy, death, rebirth. Somebody ended something, but now they want to come back. They may want to come back, restart. Just be careful. I would say be careful. With that. All right, so let's go. Now we're going into the love. Let's see, we're going into love. Thinking, missing you, craving you, desiring. Missing you, craving you, desiring. Memories. So these love messages are for the collective. So if the message resonates with you, take the message as it resonates. If it doesn't, don't try to force it. This message isn't for everybody. Okay, so we got the thinking card coming out with missing you, craving you, desiring you. So there may be somebody that's reminiscing about memories with you. It says reminiscing, dwelling, and bittersweet. So someone may be thinking about you. This could be somebody that you already have a family with, or someone that you may be considering having a family with you. Fertility, parenthood, pregnancy. So some of you may already be parents. But there may be somebody that is resisting this urge to come forward, you know, with the secret admirer card coming out. I mean, it says resistance, but it says secret admirer, suppressing, timid. So someone may be a bit shy about coming forward, about expressing their feelings. If this is someone that's from your past, they may be trying to suppress the feelings that they're having, especially if those emotions are being drawn up by the way they're thinking about you, the memories, them reminiscing, thinking about the good times with you. The card says, I miss you. So some of you may resonate with that. This person, you may consider them your soulmate or you, but it says deep love, unity, connection. So I feel like this person may be resisting the connection, and it could be because there needs to be some healing on their part, something that they need to gain some clarity regarding, because it does say pursuit, toxicity, resilience, you know, so there may be some certain struggles that this person may be dealing with that you may not be aware of, that they need to work out. And once they gain the clarity that they need, they may be coming forward. You know, there is attraction and chemistry between you and this person, but Whatever the issue is that's causing them to hold back, they need to work that out before they can come forward. It could be something, this is stubborn right here. They're stubborn. Some of you may have had a conversation about marriage or coming together, some sort of commitment, but this person may be stubborn about their ideas. They may not want to be in a relationship. I'm not in a relationship. They may not want like a committed relationship. They may want to, but that's something that they need to work out, you know, especially if they want to come back. They may be resisting the idea of having like marriage. It says marriage promises, fidelity. Some of them may even be having issues with knots. Because in the earlier card, I mentioned somebody that may have stepped out of the relationship by like ending the relationship so they could go pursue other PUSSY, you know. So that may be something that may be holding them back or from committing because they're maybe chasing thrills instead of chasing security. This person may not even want to admit to that too. Because there's like this defiance in this tiger's face, you know? This person may not want to admit that they're wrong, that they've done something wrong, especially if there has been infidelity in the relationship, you know? That may not resonate with everybody because some people just may be having a fear of commitment, you know, especially if they've been in a commitment in the past. Like say they were in a commitment in the past, they had a family in the past, they ended up getting divorced. It was like a messy divorce, custody battle, a fight over property, whatever the case may be. This person may be afraid to be in a committed relationship because of stuff that they've experienced in the past. And that's something that they need to, that may be the memories too that they're having. They may be trying to, you know, bring some clarity to themselves, maybe do some sort of comparison to what current situation they're in and what situation they may be in or that they've experienced, and comparing it to what they have with you. This message will not resonate with everybody, you know? It seems to be very suspicious. Suspicious. Some of you may be suspicious about this person, too. Maybe questioning why this person is resistant to the connection. You know, so some of the messages will resonate, some won't. Not everybody was dealing with someone who is unfaithful. It could just be the person that just has a fear of commitment, or it could be someone was unfaithful. Everybody's situation is different, you know. Everybody's situation is different. And just so you know, tarot does not give you answers. It just provides you some clarity or guidance that confirms what you already know. So if you have no inkling about something, you don't have any suspicions or fears or concerns, then this message may not be for you. These messages are for people that already have an idea about something and it's just confirming it for them and providing more information or guidance. So let's see. I left the other cards behind, the message cards. So it would have been good to use that if like some of you were in no contact, some message cards, but I left those at home. If some of you are clinging on to this relationship, even though it may not have been the healthiest, it may be time to sever ties, you know. It may be time to release, because I saw the releasing card. You know, sometimes we want to hold on to something that isn't right for us, and we end up hurting ourselves even more. So you may be, yeah, something may be broken. There's certain relationships are not meant to be mended, not meant to come back together. But sometimes you need to find that clarity within yourself, you know? And the clinginess is also that it's not healthy, you know? Some of you may even reject this person if they come back, if you don't want this person to come back. Yeah, rejecting, because like the independence, some of you may end up going your own way, you know, deciding to be on your own. And when I split the deck, we have beauty. Yeah, you're probably going to be able to see more clearly now. Because if this situation has been a cloud, like has been cloudy, like everything has been gray, there's no clarity, there's nothing. It's like if you decide, whatever you decide, that's going to bring you more clarity. May bring you more understanding. Bring even peace. And open doors to newer things that will be better for you. So sometimes we get in situations that we don't see the beauty that exists outside of the situation. We get stuck in what we are experiencing, that we lose sight that there's something more out there for us, something that could be better for us, you know? Some of you may be finding out this stuff through like social media, possibly messages. It's interesting. I looked at the bottom of the deck for this deck. It's hope. There can be hope for improvement, for reconnection, reconciliation, and some there isn't, you know. But that may not resonate with everybody. That's true. I don't like those types of messages, but sometimes we need the truth. We need the truth. And I'm someone that I don't like to sugarcoat things. As much as it may hurt, it's better to tell the truth. I'd rather hear an ugly truth than a sweet lie. So, oh my gosh, that reading was heavy. That was heavy. Okay, let's see what comes out. I want a funny card right now because this is heavy. I feel like I told something that may have broken somebody's heart. Okay, let's see. Oh, this card too. There may be something coming up around the next full moon. That's going to be on March 3rd. That's going to be the full moon in Virgo. But the cards that we have is Thump Thump, Love Help, Stop Confusing Passion with a Panic Attack. Love is supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be nice, not stressful, anxiety-inducing. It shouldn't be like that. And then even the moon takes breaks. Sit down. So this goes back to the initial message. The initial message where we were talking about taking a break, taking care of yourself, nurturing yourself, not sacrificing yourself, not overgiving, not overdoing. And then the full moon is not an excuse for bad decisions. I love this card. Because I mentioned this is it's for emotional, like when the moon is full, sometimes people who are affected by the moon cycles, they tend to get emotional, you know? So don't blame anything on the moon. This is about taking accountability for your own actions, you know? We are accountable to our own health, our responsibilities, and to how we treat other people and how we treat ourselves, you know? So I'm going to end the reading here. I hope everyone has a good day. Yes, my break ended. So thank you so much for joining. I hope you all have a good day ahead, wherever you are. And I'm sending you positive vibes. Yeah, please take care of yourself, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, and they, them. Bye, everyone. Take care.